Hey dolls! Today I'm going to give you some tips for writing your own series, or more specifically, some pet peeves you might want to avoid while writing. This could work for a Barbie series you're making, or an LPS series, or just any series in general that you're trying to write. I'm really passionate about writing, so I'm excited to share these tips with you. Let's get into it. So my first pet peeve I'm going to talk about is starting your series off with the main character waking up in the morning. It'll be a lot harder to make your series stand out by doing this for a couple of reasons. First of all, it's very ordinary and mundane. You're trying to draw in the viewer with the first episode, capture their attention, and if they just wake up to an alarm saying 5 more minutes, it's too ordinary. Also, so many other series start off with the main character waking up in the morning, so chances are your series might blend in with other series that do this too. Instead of having your character just wake up in the morning, a good tip that I use is starting your series at a point of change. You don't need to start with the everyday, it's just not necessary. So example, in my series, Mind Games, I start the first episode at a turning point in the main character's life, when she decides that she doesn't want to be the perfect girlfriend to her partner anymore, and the whole plot builds from that big decision. Try to find a more creative way of starting your series that'll really hook in your viewer. My second pet peeve is basically one-dimensional characters. For example, protagonists being all perfect with no real flaws, or the antagonist being purely evil, or the love interest just being there to be a love interest, or friends just being there for the sake of supporting the main character's life. All I ask is that you please give them more life than that. Making your characters one-dimensional like that is honestly boring, and it doesn't make the characters feel like they are real people, but rather objects in the main character's life. And with the main character being all perfecty, with no flaws, it doesn't make them interesting, and so therefore, the viewer probably won't want to keep watching. It just makes me not like the character, honestly. My advice for this is to think about every character's life. What problems do they have in their own lives? What are their interests? Make sure every character has unique traits, and just as importantly, unique flaws. Viewers are more likely to become invested in your work if you create a cast of engaging, unique characters. My third pet peeve is more of a general one, but it's inconsistent or a wandering plot. Now what I mean by this is that the plot just goes by episode, not really building up on any sort of main conflict. It's one thing if you're just making like a slice of life or something like that, but usually this just comes off as the writer not really being prepared and not thoroughly planning out their story enough. To help with this, a good technique is having an event of some sort at the end of the series, and the episodes build and lead up to that event. You don't have to do this, but this could help you come up with ideas. For example, in my series Mind Games, there is a school competition that the characters are getting ready for and preparing for. I don't want to give too much more away than that since the episodes aren't out yet, but yeah, that's just a big event that every episode builds up to it, there's conflict leading up to it, and it makes the plot a lot more cohesive. Something else that can help make your plot more structured is writing most of your script beforehand. I know how tempting it is to film right away after finishing a script for an episode, but it's best to have most of the writing done beforehand for a more cohesive plot and better planning. Plus, you can incorporate foreshadowing after finishing the basic plot, which can really strengthen your series since foreshadowing usually proves that the work has been thought out extensively. And when you're writing, you don't have to know every little thing that's going to happen in your script, so don't stress out about that. Your subconscious is smarter than you think and will give you themes and ideas as you go. Don't let uncertainty intimidate you, but instead have fun with the process. And my fourth pet peeve is pointless conversation and boring dialogue. Usually there's not much need to put in filler conversation or small talk like, "Hi, how was your day?" "Good, how was yours?" It's just fluff that gets in the way of your plot. Think of ways that dialogue can cause conflict or contribute to your main plot. A way to beef up the response to, "Hi, how was your day?" could be for the character to clap back with something witty or sharp, like, "Oh, now you decide to ask me." Or, "Well, it would have been a lot better if you didn't X, Y, or Z." See what I'm saying? It makes the dialogue more interesting and it's actually going somewhere. I'm not saying every conversation has to be an argument, but every conversation should have intention behind it. If it's not important, don't include it. And my last series pet peeve is copying. Now don't get me wrong, it's great to be inspired by work that you admire, but try not to completely copy it. For example, I've seen a lot of series, especially on LPS Tube, about the new kid at high school. If you really want to write about that, consider ways that you can make your series original and unique. What's something you don't see in a lot of other series? What's something you wish you saw more? try incorporating that into your work. Those are all of my doll slash LPS slash whatever series pet peeves that I've got for you today. Now, if your series has any of these elements in it that I discussed, that doesn't automatically mean that your series is bad or anything. Please don't take it that way. Writing has no real concrete rules. My point in talking about these pet peeves is make sure that you are writing with intention. And most importantly, keep writing. The more you practice, the better you will get. I really hope these tips have been useful for you. I'm really passionate about writing, and I do have a degree in creative writing, so I really love talking about it. I do have more writing tips that I want to share, but I wanted to keep this video fairly brief, so if you want more videos like this, let me know by liking this video and leaving a comment. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you want to see my doll series Mind Games, be sure to check out the link in the description. I've had so much fun working on it. If you like this video, please subscribe if you want, and follow me on Instagram at MillieWillowsDoll, as well as Twitter at MillieWillows59, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!